Dear fellow Christians, you are sheep among the wolves. You know the part in the Bible where it says Jesus came for the Gentiles, to teach that the Gentiles were also of God and also beautiful. That's not because the Zionist extremist Jews of the time were of God, and in some way the Gentiles were scum and needed to be redeemed by somebody like Jesus. No, it's because everyone was always beautiful. But the extremist Jews, the Pharisees, followed a Babylonian Talmudic belief that they were the only chosen ones. It's not that God actually chose them. It's that they believed that about themselves. They truly believed that they were special. And as we know in the Old Testament, a sect of Israelites continued to sacrifice babies to Moloch. Those are the Zionist extremist Jews, the Pharisees. The Pharisees that hated Jesus' teaching of the Father loving us all. So we need to reorientate our understanding. It's not that God chose the Jews, it's that the Jews said that God chose them. But that was never the truth. So Jesus came to level the playing field, to say we're all special in God's eyes. And nowadays we have a whole bunch of Christians that have been confused into thinking that God actually chose the Jews. But that's just what they said about themselves, because they have really big egos. Religious Talmudic Jews have really big egos, and they think they are very, very special. And that is why the zealot, extremist Jews crucified Jesus. They hated his teaching. They hated that he said the Gentiles were special too. And today in Talmudic doctrine, it says that the mother of Jesus is a whore, that Jesus is boiling in excrement for eternity. So we have a whole bunch of Christians today supporting the state of Israel because they think, weirdly, that the Jews are chosen, but that's the antithetical teaching to what Jesus was actually saying. They were never chosen. Their demented egoic minds made them think they were chosen, but they weren't chosen. And we have a whole bunch of Christians keeping quiet about the genocide of Palestinians, and even so far as supporting the Israeli regime, because they've misunderstood their own scriptures. The Jewish settlers right now in the land of Palestine are not even from that land. Did you know that it is illegal for the Jews in Israel to get a DNA test? This is in the Jerusalem Post. While millions of such kits have been sold in the United States, Israelis are forbidden to buy ancestry DNA kits from the store without presenting a court order, as the Israeli government controls these types of purchases due to the genetic information law. Well, why would they not want anybody to know their genetic information? Let me take this further. The current Jews living in Israel are mostly Ashkenazi Jews. And if they were to do a DNA test, one would discover that their ancestry leads to Eastern Europe. That's where their blood goes to. Okay? Because in around the 8th century CE, there was an area called Khazar in Turkestan, and a lot of people converted to Judaism. So when you see white-skinned Jews, they are actually converts from 800 CE. So the people being massacred, the Palestinians right now, those are actually of the lineage of that land. If you took their blood, the blood would say, you come right from here. And it doesn't matter whether they're a Muslim, a Christian, or they have a Jewish faith, that wouldn't even matter. The point is that that is the blood of Jesus. They come from the lineage of Yeshua. So right now we have a bunch of Christians supporting the state of Israel, which is a bunch of colonizers, a bunch of Eastern European converts arrived in somebody else's land, said they were the Jews and the original Israelites. But no, what we're seeing is that the Palestinians are the original Israelites and they are the ones being murdered. So you are sheep among the wolves. You are being manipulated to support the demonic side. Another thing we should all know is that the Palestinians come from the original tribes of Israel, the settlers don't. And the original tribe of Judah is black. In Jeremiah 36:14 it says the name, Jeremiah 36:14 says the name of the great-grandfather of Yehudi, Judah, was named Cushi, which means black, meaning the Yehudi Jews were and are black-skinned people. Cush, the land of Cush and Kem. Kem is the name of actual ancient Egypt. And Cush, those are black-skinned people. There's so many verses in the Bible that point directly to Judah being black-skinned, woolly-haired, black. And even the second president of Egypt, Gamal Nasser, in 1952, he said, about the state of Israel, you will never be able to live here in peace because you left here black and came back white. So a lot of the ancient nations and peoples in the Middle East are aware of the fact that the original Jews are black. And many of them migrated south. And all across the world, they were taken as slaves across to the US. They are the Bantus now in southern Africa. They are the Tamil Dravidian people. So there's two problems here. The Palestinians are of that land, and you're supporting the wrong side if you're supporting the Israeli colonizing settlers, the ones who are brutalizing the lineage of Jesus. And on top of that, the true Jews are black. So, I know this is hard to comprehend, but the Zionist extremist Jews continue today to sacrifice to Moloch, and they are doing that with the genocide of Palestinians and many genocides across the world. They kill other nations, other people's children. When Jesus said you are sheep among the wolves, he actually meant that quite literally. There is a sect of extremist Jews that have operated in the world for thousands of years. They have been evicted from so many countries. And the Jews who aren't aware think it's because they're just blindly persecuted. No. It's because there is an extremist ideology among your people that is Talmudic, and these people literally kill Gentile children, and their main aim is to exterminate all non-Jews across the earth. You cannot call yourself a Christian and support the state of Israel. You are sheep among the wolves.